Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Southeast or Southwest Airlines coming to town. I don't know why. It's overcast, 50 degrees, wind out of the north. It's cold in Florida standards. Dino is in a panic. Clucky doesn't care. So had a little adventure today. I was out working on a couple of things, wasn't really making progress. It was cold, damp. So I was cleaning my belly button. A lady messaged me and said, "Hey, do you buy mowers?" And I said, "Yes." And she says, "I have a couple." So she started sending me pictures. I thought she might have had one or two, but I ended up getting a trailer and truckload from her. When she sent me the pictures, I said, "Are you a mower shop?" She says, "No, I'm a scrapper." She says, "I got generators, pressure washers, and mowers." So I hightailed it up to beautiful Palmetto, Florida, which is in northern Manatee County. And I looked through what she had, and I left some stuff behind that I wasn't interested in taking. So I spent $100 for everything. So we're going to go through and you guys tell me if I got swindled or was $100 too much. It actually came up to 90, but I gave her 10 more bucks for these two with bags. I said I'll just round it up to 100 since these two had bags, the Troy built and the Craftsman. What I told her is I'd pay 10 to 15 for the mowers, and if you had any two-cycle stuff, I'd look at it. So anything without a bag, I paid 10 for it. So I paid 10 for that. Like I said, 15 for this Craftsman 230, no gas cap. So we got to figure out what the deal is. Looks like it was puking water. This could have been a floody since it's got mildew on it. We got a Craftsman front wheel drive. Cover's missing here. I can see the belt and somebody's tried to mess with it. The linkage for the auto choke is missing and the backing plate. What do we have here? A Crafty 100, no front wheels. You can see what happened here. The spline is still on the axle, so the wheels bound up due to rust. And then there's a piece of tape here for some reason. Is the spline there? Can't tell. So this one doesn't look too bad. As far as the deck, if I can rectify the wheels, it's just a standard pusher on the M100. So what I did is I just started flipping them over and turning the blades. I didn't look at them any more than that. So not all of them were freewheeling, but I took that into consideration when I was pricing them. Yeah, this one's freewheeling. Somebody may have tried to fix it. It's got the recoil, which is still good. So I'm not going to go through all of these and show you. This is a 2020, 8th month 2020, no oil in it. So this one might be shot. I got a couple of engines ready to go. That's why I was considering deck integrity. I can just get rid of this engine if it's shot and put another engine on it. People love this shiny red paint. Lawrence Carroll knows that for a fact. See this one over here, the Troy built, showing deck rust, and then deck rust here on this Honda powered machine. So what else? I'll show you what's on the bed of the truck. We got a Bolin / Murray. We've been down this road before. Somebody's changed this out. This is green like Bolin's, and it does say Bolin's there. You guys know the dark green. So this was a unit somebody messed with. Another Bolin's. There's your green deck, a baby 20 side discharge 2016. Stopped to see my son and found this in a parking lot. Somebody must have ran out of gas and they didn't want to take the jug home with them, so they left it brand new 1 gallon can. So Husqvarna 725 EXI. Don't know anything about this. I think I turned it over and it did move. It's got oil. Oh, safety brake cable's broken. They've got it wired up with some electrical wire, so that we know that's an issue. We got an old MTD here and missing the pull cord. So I don't know anything about this. I just took this one for parts. $10 unit. That was 10, and those two were 10s. So I said, do you have any 2-cycle stuff? She says, yeah, I got 2-cycle stuff. So she brought me to the garage, and she had these outside on the driveway. So I started looking through them, and I ended up taking this stuff. She had some Home Light curve shaft. I bypassed those. So I said, I'll give you $5 each for them, for these. So that was $30. So the deal with this stuff is a couple of them are missing plugs. These are both the PB 2520 Echoes. I figured maybe I can get one running out of this group. Missing a carb on this. Here's another Echo. It looked complete. The PB 250 Lima November. So I took this, assembled in USA. And then I've been working on a bunch of these. The PB 2100s. I've rectified 5 or 6 of these things. No primer bulb here, no cap. Grommets screwed up on the tank. So I took this because I'm familiar with these. So she was a little bit hesitant when I said $5 each. She says, yeah, but they're Echoes. And I said, well, this is an older one, and these here are missing parts. Then we came to this Crafty. Doesn't look like it's in bad condition, but then I saw the rope, and these things are a nightmare. You got to pull all this off to get to the recoil. I've done a video on these. The rope goes through here, down there, and the recoil's back under there, so it's a big pain in the ass. So I wasn't very excited about this one. Designed for year 2023, so already in 2 years they've screwed this thing up. Might be a flood. I see a bunch of crust here on the aluminum carbs, so that's an indication of water submersion, and there's some rust here Okay, and it's locked up. I'm pulling the throttle and it's locked up. Didn't notice that, but that's part of the deal. Grab them and deal with them later. We got a straight shaft Ryobi. That's the only one I took because it's a straight shaft. EX26 primer bulb rot. It's got compression, so this might be a good one. Got to come up with a cover and a filter. What do we have? 26cc, date of manufacture, 5th month, 8th day of 2010. Conforms to 2010 EPA and California emissions. Tektronic Industries, North America. So that's that one. Let's keep moving. I got a plethora of junk. So the bag, got the bag also. So these two here I had bypassed initially. Got the Pulsar style MTD. I turded this. So there was about 4 I didn't take on the pushers. There was an older snapper, I believe. These, I didn't take this because I reached under and the blade was not budging. So I said, okay, locked up engine. It's got a fair deck and it's the fixed wheel. I'm really not fond of those style decks, so I bypassed that one. And then this one, I saw the back of the deck and said, holy cow. So either somebody stored this in a pool room where there was a lot of chlorine, or it was out near the beach. This thing's a rust magnet. So that's why I bypassed this. I said, holy cow. No cable. What do we got? 2020, so it's not a very old machine. And this one was locked up. Either that or it was a hurricane flood out near the ocean. Salt water submerged it. No water in the tank. Tank was empty. So let's try to look at this. We're going to do a little looky look on the MTD. I got a spark plug wrench. I'm wondering if this thing sat outside, if we had a lot of water go into the cylinder and it's hydrolocking. Missing the spring here for the throttle. That's gone. See a little bit of moisture down there, so I'm missing the whole air cleaner assembly. Yep, I bet you this is a floody too. I'll show you why. I'm seeing rust stains here. I guess we'll know in a minute. Oh. 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 Uh-oh. A little bit of gas, but there is some water. Incrustation, look at that. So maybe I shouldn't have taken this one. Let's at least pull off the plug and see if water pours out of the cylinder. Ah, boy. Figured, what the heck. She says that whatever you left behind, I'm just going to scrap. Did you want any? So I grabbed these two. I gave her 5 each. So I gave her $10 for these. I figured, what the heck, for parts, 5 each, I could get something off of these things for 5. Okay, we got an Autolite plug, the 458. This is the 450 series. 1 year limited warranty, 148 cc. Okay. There is something in there. I'm not sure if it's sand. A lot of buildup right there. What is it? Oh, there it is. It feels fluffy and light. It feels lighter than sand. But that looks like sand. Okay. Somebody's been in here. This plug wire should come out of a little indentation right there in the middle. It shouldn't wrap around like that. So somebody was in here and didn't put this back together. Let me just try moving the blade. Okay, a little bit of action, but I can feel something. Like this play and the bearing, or I'm forcing it, but it is moving now. Okay, I'm at TDC looking at the piston, and it's all crusty. What I'm doing is just pushing crust. That's why it's so hard to move. The cylinder walls are covered in crust, so I'm not sure if this thing's gonna pan out. Blade's not too bad. I could take some of my 50/50 solution, acetone ATF, stick it in the cylinder, tilt it back like that, and let it sit. See if I can break this thing free. September 2012 on this one. 3-holer on the recoil. And there's your engine serial. Begins with a 12. It's 2012. Okay. I'll return the MTD. Let's look at this thing. Let me grab my turkey baster. Hopefully I have something to put the liquid in. I think it's water. I got something. We had rain here and the cap was off, so of course we have water in here. Oh, very, very little. I don't even know if I can scoop it up. There's not even enough down there, but it is. Oh, I did scoop what I cut up with one draw, and it's all water, just 100% water. All wah-wah. So this thing has no safety brake cable. The spring is still on. Let me get a screwdriver and take off the oil fill cap and just see if this thing has been submerged. Get this out of my way because the handle isn't going to help me. Amazon's down the street. Postman was here a little bit ago and left me a package. Okay. So good looking oil. There's no milkshake consistency. So maybe the water level didn't get high enough to get into the crankcase. Let me pull the plug on this one. This is a strange one, how it's so rusty. Has it got a filter? Yeah, it's got a filter. Oh, looks like some mildew. This thing might have been moist. Got some mildew growth, algae growth. It looks like salt crystals here. I'll show you that in a minute. Down at the bottom of the filter cover is some white crystals. Got an Autolite plug. Well, that's on there. I figured I'd check these two turds out to see if they'd be salvageable. The two worst ones are pretty close to worse. That one was on there. Wow. Wow is all I could say. Feels like it's stripping as it comes out. You know, you get that feeling of really hard to back off. This 300E series engines has taken a beating. Can't even get it to come off here at the very end without help. Okay. Gulf of Mexico catastrophe. That's the deal on this one. Look at all that. Weird how the crankcase wasn't compromised, yet the cylinder filled up and just started corroding. Let me just tip it over. I know I'm not supposed to go that way, but this thing's a basket case anyway. I just want to see if it'll turn over. Probably do the same thing with this. Put some of that 50/50 acetone ATF. really wet down here. Okay, let's try. Oh boy. Oh, oh boy. No, this thing's locked like Fort Knox. This thing's locked up. I turned it over before showing you the white crystallized stuff, so that's all on the ground now. Sorry about that, but you get the big picture. All that stuff poured out right here. All that stuff, oh, you can still see some of it stuck around. Probably salt. Salt. That's too bad this 2020 took a crap. Okay, so this is probably the roughest one. Salty. So no foul, no harm. Only gave 5 for it. She was going to scrap it anyway, so maybe there's something I can use, because this thing's been abused. Okay, 4 or 5 pours of used oil. Let me try. Nope, nope, nope. It's going to have to sit. I may dump that oil out and use my mixture. I just thought maybe if I squirted some used oil, I could get some action. Get some action out of it. Nope. Nothing, and I'm not going to get hurt trying to break this free. So you remember me saying I ended up getting some golf carts. One was a Kawasaki 352cc single cylinder and a carry-all 6-foot bed. Well, the carburetor for that came in. When I went to clean the carb, that came with it. Somebody had been in there, kind of knurled up the brass jet trying to take it out. I was able to get it out fine and put it back in, but there was no bowl gasket. Whoever worked on it before put it back together. It was a key and carb. They just put the bowl on the carb and tightened it down. So I looked at the diagram. It does call for a bowl gasket, which through the manufacturer distributor of the golf cart was 26 bucks. So I ended up buying that whole carb kit for 25. The carburetor, I got a fuel pump, fuel hose with the deal, the fuel line clamps, I think an inline fuel filter, the whole kit and caboodle for 25. Chinese knockoff, of course. It's not a Kian, who the original manufacturer was. So we'll see how this knockoff carburetor will do. Anyway, let me know, you guys, what you think of this haul. I think, what do we get here? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mowers, 5 blowers, a weed eater, and a loose bag, Ryobi bag. So I think I did good, $100. She's going to save equipment for me. So we'll see how that turns out. Tommy.time at Yahoo if you want to complain, criticize, congratulate, comment. Let me know what you think of these turds. Turd Festival. Adios, amigos. Tip your waitress and waitstaff.